That was awesome, by the way. That was good. Okay, seniors. Awesome. Good morning, everyone. This is awesome. This is so exciting. I can't believe we are actually together in person. And we're not on Zoom, and I think everybody remembered to put their pants on, it's awesome. It's really good. Good morning, everyone, and seniors and parents and grandparents and guardians and brothers and sisters, aunts, nieces, uncles, friends. It is my honor and pleasure to welcome you to Lick-Wilmerding High School's Class of 2021 graduation ceremony. Our 122nd graduating class. Seniors, a few days ago, I came across a review by Adam Frank of a recently published book by acclaimed theoretical physicist Carlo Rovelli called Helgoland: Making Sense of Quantum Revolution, than in the classical realm of ordinary experience. The theory they developed to control the objects of their experiments was an intellectual triumph. Almost all of the technological miracles we live with now, from CAT scans to computers, can be traced to that achievement. But quantum mechanics never really explained the strangeness of the micro world. It just gave us a method for making incredibly accurate predictions and building stuff. This is where Rovelli comes in with his own theory. The lesson Rovelli wants us to learn, Frank goes on to explain, is that nothing has any properties at all until it interacts with something else. And between those interactions, there are no properties at all. What quantum mechanics is teaching us, Rovelli says, is that reality is a vast net of interactions where there are no things, only relationships. This is the radical leap, he writes, that everything exists solely in the way it affects something else. Now, philosophers and artists and psychologists, etc., have been talking about consciousness and how we know it actually exists for many years. But to me, in my naive extension of Rovelli's theory to human consciousness, I think that what he is saying makes a lot of sense. This year in particular, as we experience moments of isolation, of being cut off from others, we realized that our interactions, our relationships gave us meaning. They provided the motivation to turn on our devices and get on Zoom and be with others, even over the screen of a computer, made possible, by the way, because of quantum mechanics. We exist, or perhaps become fully formed and solid in relation to others. Seniors, this year, like no other year in my 32 years of working in schools, have I seen a class affirm each other more than the ways you have done so. You inspire me. Throughout this pandemic, you have reached out to each other, you have built connection and community. You have cheered each other on and held each other's hearts when they were injured, and you have shared laughter and joy. I saw this countless times, but especially each time I heard you thank your teachers, or when you came in every Monday to spit into a tube for testing, or when you cheered for each other at senior evening. You have, through relationship, created systems more powerful than any machine. You exist brightly because you affect one another, and in relationship, you propel yourself into meaning. There is a bond among this class, born out of common unprecedented experience of being a high school senior during a worldwide pandemic, which is actually the definition of a pandemic. Some people may not have risen to the challenge, and I wonder if Rovelli's theory explains what happens when an atom or subatomic particle is isolated and does not interact with other atoms and particles. I imagine he would say that it does not exist. But you, class of 2021, are like magnets drawn by a force that pulled you together and you became stronger. I thank you for showing me the power of relationship, and I hope that you spread this power of calling into being relationships that create meaning and hope and kindness and compassion. Congratulations to a remarkable class, and know that we will miss you very, very much.
Greetings. It's very tempting to run around the bases, but that's another story. Hi, everyone. I'm Sean Lopez, and I'm a teacher in the history department. This is the first time I've seen this group of seniors together in over a year, which is pretty crazy. And I wanted to thank Kate in particular for pulling it together. It's amazing. I'm up here today to introduce our student speakers, Journey Moore-Pruitt and Wendy Sandoval. And I'll be honest, I realized I can take this off. Anyway, I was a little surprised that Wendy and Journey asked me, given that neither of them, and no one in their friend group, and I'm looking at you, Christy and Cameron, took any of my senior seminars this year. None. We tried, Dr. Lopez. You were our first choice, Dr. Lopez. It's a scheduling issue, Dr. Lopez. Yada, yada, yada. All right? I don't know what to believe at this point, and given that I received 4 emails from them in recent days demanding that I wear this pink boa, I feel a little bit like I'm getting set up right now. As a straight-laced, by-the-book, no-nonsense teacher, it's pretty frightening. But I am here nonetheless, and joking aside, I'm so honored that they asked me to introduce them. In 23 years of teaching, getting to play a tiny part in helping young people grow and thrive has never gotten old. Every once in a while, though, there are students who make me better, who help me be a better educator, a more engaged citizen, and just a better person. Wendy and Journey are 2 such individuals. Strong women of color who have challenged all of us to be better. There were some memorable moments with them when they were my students as sophomores. If you've ever seen them in a debate, they get fired up, okay? But what I valued most are the more informal, everyday encounters with them. Yeah, they like roasting me sometimes. Again, it's totally unprovoked. But they also take the time to check in about how I'm doing, talk about issues, ask about my family, and so on. They've taken the time to forge an authentic connection with me, and I appreciate that so much. Now, what I realized about them as softs, and it's even more on display now, is that they are made of unique stuff. They weren't at Lick just for grades, but rather to grow. They didn't seek to fit in, but rather have pushed us all to reflect and improve. I've since seen Journey and Wendy take on leadership roles, fight for social and racial and gender justice, and just generally step up in a world that needs people to step up. These are impressive young women, and I'm so glad to have this opportunity to honor them, even if they pick on me from time to time. Now, I could take this last opportunity to roast them back a little bit, right? But really, all I want to do is thank them for the impact they've had on me and on our school. Besides, I can get them back later, since I know profs at both of the colleges they're attending. Yes. So without further ado, I give you Wendy Sandoval and Journey Moore-Pruitt.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Lopez, for that wonderful introduction and for kindly sprinkling your hot pink feathers all over the place.
Before we begin, we first want to anchor you to the present moment. Take a moment to get super comfortable in your chair, get your posture right, some mindful breathing, if you will. Shout out Miss Merck. Please do whatever your body needs right now.
We want y'all to think about the ground beneath you. Concrete, wood, or even carpet, whichever one it is. Close your eyes for a moment and think about the perpetual stability and comfort it provides as it holds us up. Call it normal force or the magic of the universe, but it's that same capacity of groundedness that we want you to keep at the forefront of your mind as we take you on a ride.
Anyways, we'd like to start off by thanking all of the incredible parents, family members, friends, fac staff, and all the wonderful people here with us today and watching us online for being here with us. Usually, the stadium is filled with Cracker Jacks, cold brew beer, garlic fries, and screaming fans. But today, it's filled with overflowing love, joy, and celebration.
Without you all, we wouldn't even be here at Oracle Park celebrating 4 wild years of high school and self-discovery. Without you all, we, the class of 2021, would have never met, and we would never have become the people we are today. So thank you, parents, faculty, and loved ones, for always being our #1 fans. And
now, to the class of 2021, This is kind of it, isn't it?
After 4 long years, today is our last day all together.
We've come a very long way from the leaking blue bungalows in the parking lot.
And from shared lockers in the library building and climbing, strapped in by double figure 8 knots.
From 7-hour drawings, building either very impressive or very mediocre lamps, and sun salutations.
And of course, it's been a while since we visited Aristotle and Dante.
Our favorite queer representation. From medal classes with Giles, racing each other through bounty house obstacle courses, and stalking upperclassmen to be paranoia champions.
It's been 4 complicated, crazy, confusing years together, and they've all led up to this day.
And before we leave you all, we wanted to tell you 13 things we've learned from you and will take with us wherever we go as we move on from here.
Number 1, if you see a motorcycle, make sure to take a picture on it.
Number 2, question the system. I think we can safely say that Lick had no idea what they were getting themselves into as they admitted our grade. From creating policies to building an entire ethnic studies course to getting slightly inappropriate Lick sweatpants. At the age of 15, we began to stir stuff up at Lick, and we've made long-lasting institutional changes, and it's up to future grades to keep the momentum going.
Number 3, put serious thought into your campaign slogans. We'll never forget Jeremy Lum, small man, big ideas, Luca Lawson, 2 L's make a W,
Yes, sir.
and Danielle Park, the best thing since sliced bread. Because it was these 3 slogans that got our very first class reps elected.
Number 4, you've got to have unapologetic passion when you're in a debate. Whether it's Bartleby, World War II, or why Clea Dyer is right, Dr. Lopez taught us that you always have to make the other side fear you.
Number 5. Hold on, let me take off my mask.
This is important.
Hold on.
This one's important.
This one's important. Okay. Number 5. How to push through challenges. Shout out to my architecture family for designing and building such gorgeous skyscrapers in under 8 weeks. Oh, and Ben, this is how you actually make a cool North sign. If y'all didn't know, he made a lowercase n and called it out of the box. You're still an incredible architect, though.
Number 6, how to properly go Super Saiyan. Though Ellis isn't with us today, I don't think any of us could ever really forget his performance at Frost Retreat.
Number 7, supporting each other. Those heartfelt moments after school while you're joking around with your friends and then decide to snag some good eats on Ocean Avenue before securing a spot on the bleachers or finding some good seats in the theater. Showing up to scream and cheer for your friends and peers as they meet your gaze and are humbly overwhelmed with a wee bit of embarrassment, but are completely swept with joy and gratitude, all from the magic of the crowd. Whether it's one acts, the dance concert, varsity girls basketball, or vocal ensemble, it was exhilarating to watch students in their element, flaunting their talents.
Number 8, dream big. A group of students in our grade are literally building an airplane. I feel like we don't have to say much beyond that.
Number 9, how to make it big in the music industry. I'm talking about the one and only T-Free, Ronan, and Wholehearted Clorox? Xander, that's pretty icy for a guy who owns flaming hot pink and purple shorts. But my favorite record's gotta be The Lullaby.
Number 10, how to have very healthy competition. Just in these past couple of weeks, we've seen the effects of raw testosterone during school-sanctioned contests. During the senior week scavenger hunt, shout out my advisory for coming in last, we saw Jeremy knocking people over and James pulling his advisory downstairs. And during the senior evening raffle, we watched Finn slowly rise from the edge of his seat, screaming, thinking his number was about to get called, only for Elliot to shoot up right after and claim the prize. And Elliot, if you're looking for someone to give those AirPods to, I am ready and willing to accept.
Excuse me, we are ready to accept. Number 11, you can go through an entire year of English without reading the book at all. Journey, Do you know what a motif is?
I unfortunately do not.
Yeah, we don't know what a motif is still.
Number 12, smiling is very contagious. Whenever we were having a bad day, we could count on you all to make us smile and ask us how our day was going. It was these small interactions, whether with Anaí, Magnolia, any members of facilities, or the CAF staff that we missed the most over quarantine. These vague memories of passing by your smiling faces in the obnoxiously bright yellow hallways, blocking passing period traffic to stop and talk against the lockers, and talking to random people in the lobby that made up just as much of our high school experience as any school dance or TGIF.
And number 13, always come to school in fresh fits, because when James or Marcello walk up to you to get a pic for LWHS Fit Pics, you've got to be ready.
And though you've taught us so many things throughout our time together, nothing could have prepared us for this moment right now.
And as we move on from here and leave each other, we'll bring with us all of the memories we've shared. From sitting on Frosh Hill, trying to make good first impressions,
To getting beeps and super Q with new friends,
to overspending on double chocolate chip cookies in the caf,
to talking about sex robots and soft-year health,
to blasting music in the soundproof breakout rooms,
to falling off the mechanical bull at Carnival,
to getting yelled at by Mr. King for cutting the lunch line,
to getting yelled at by Mr. King again for taking more than one piece of bread,
to fighting over the last piece of bread,
to playing knockout in the gym during junior retreat,
to Zoom classes or Discord if you had Mr. Yip,
to simple subs and spitting into little tubes,
to taco trucks during senior week,
to senior evening, our last night together,
and to today, right here, one of our last moments.
and though we just came back together, it's already time to say goodbye.
But not forever.
And we can't thank you all enough for the lessons you've taught us and the times we've shared.
And if this year has shown us anything, it's that we don't have to be physically together to maintain our relationship, and that these past 4 years have bonded us forever.
As we look out on all of you, every dimension of who you are and who you turn out to be is going to make a mark on this universe. You all are spectacular in the ways in which y'all have overcome so much emotional and academic turbulence at the school.
Everyone was put through the ringer, but what makes us smile is that you didn't let that stop you from having fun throughout it all. We admire you, we adore you. Keep your head up. May your wildest dreams flourish into reality. May you find incredible people that nurture your growth. Our hope is that no matter how much time has passed with the friends you've made, may you always pick up right where you left off.
And soon we'll be shouting, 4 more years! 4 more years! But we'll be hundreds of miles apart.
So,
This is not goodbye, but see you
soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's see if I can get one like that.
Good morning, all. I'm Josiah Densby, and today I have the privilege and joy of introducing Mr. V. Kanya. But before I do so, I have some words to share directly with him. I'm sad to say that I never had the opportunity to be a student in one of your history classes, but I couldn't be more grateful to have called you my advisor for our AIF these last 3 years. If you don't know, AIF, which stands for Ad Ingenium Faciendum, meaning towards the building of character in Latin, is an affinity space for men of color on campus. And it's because of this space and working with you, Mr. Viacania, I've been inspired by the sincerity and the love you share daily. A fun memory of mine is of you describing one of your favorite cheeses and hearing the excitement in your voice as you displayed the actual cheese on Zoom. Still wrapped in its packaging to keep it fresh, of course. Another memory that sticks with me is the story you shared with us about the love you demonstrated for your mother. I'll never forget seeing the love in your eyes as you described the joy you got from cooking so that your mom could take a break from the kitchen and enjoy quality family time. You always put the needs of your students above academic pressures. I see this in how you avoid talking about colleges so that we feel less stress. Make time for individual check-ins and consistently start and end meetings on time, out of respect. Your love is ever present, and I'm going to follow in your example to use compassion as a strength, uplifting my brothers and sisters with the words you've instilled in us to know we're loved, seen, and appreciated. And now I want to share some of my classmates' experiences and how you have impacted their lives. From NIE, outside of class, Mr. Villacana was very supportive and understanding. I enjoyed having conversations with him as well as taking his advice. He overall helped me navigate not only as a student in Lick, but as a first-generation Latinx youth in an independent institution. Morgan, Mr. Villacana has found a way to make class engaging, fun, and inclusive while maintaining a high expectation of his students. That standard and expectation pushed me to grow not only as a learner, but also as a young man. Issa, being able to experience him in the classroom has set a standard of empathy and reflection, and now won't settle for anything less. Along with these three, I heard from the other students who expressed how your cultivation of accountability, thought-provoking teaching methods, personal greetings at the door, and an ability to meet students where they are created an unforgettable classroom experience and instilled an enriching level of learning like no other. On behalf of the class of 2021, I just want to say thank you for inspiring us to become better people, challenging us to break cycles of oppression, and always reminding us to choose love and optimism. It's an honor, privilege, and gift to know you. Now, please join me as I welcome 2021's faculty speaker, Mr. Villacana.
Thank you, Josiah, for your kind words, for the love, and for mirroring back to me what some of your classmates said. Thank you. And Journey and Wendy, it's an honor to share the stage with you. Dear seniors, please join me in expressing gratitude to the adults who made this ceremony possible and who did so much in the last few months to commemorate your senior year, especially our Dean of Students, Ms. Kate Wiley. Congratulations on finally, mercifully, making it to the end of a high school career that began in trailers in the school's parking lot and ended on Zoom. It was good times for sure. We entered Lick at the same time and developed many connections during the last 4 years. So when I found out y'all selected me as the faculty speaker for your graduation, I was really moved. It heightened the sense of responsibility I felt to share some heartfelt and meaningful words in your honor. Lick's mission statement says that we exist to produce graduates with the capacity, confidence, compassion, and commitment to change the world. Alliteration aside, it's a lofty pre-COVID sentiment, because in the last 14 months, they've repeatedly mirrored back to me that the world isn't so much in need of change as it is in desperate need of healing and repair from wounds and breaks that happened centuries ago. After historical periods of collective trauma, instead of creating justice guided by truth and reconciliation, the status quo's desire to quickly move on prevailed, followed by grievance, backlash, and willful historical amnesia. But the ugly aspects of our past never died. They're not even past. They remain all around us, in the atmosphere, in the soil we stand on, Ohlone soil. And the longer we defer the healing, the more jarring it feels when the malignant ugliness reappears, as it did so many times during your last 2 years of high school. The world beyond Lick will thus always offer you a plethora of opportunities to facilitate healing and repair. I've come to find great value in the idea that before we can help others heal, we first have to learn how to heal ourselves. 3 truths have helped me grow in that direction, and today, I humbly offer them to you as parting gifts from my heart. The first truth, you, as you are enough. You've always been enough. Even though systemic structures in the world inundate us with messages that exactly the opposite is true, leading us to waste a ridiculous amount of time wondering if we're good enough, smart enough, cool enough, attractive enough, successful enough, wealthy enough. Somewhere in that fool's journey, we lose sight of the fact that our existence is a miracle, that every passing moment is ineffably beautiful because of its singular and finite nature, that each one of us was brought into this world to share our unique gifts, talents, and light. If your family and friends didn't mirror that back to you enough growing up, it's because that's how they were treated too. And if we as a school didn't mirror that back to you enough during the last 4 years, that's an inexcusable failure on our part as an institution. You were enough when you arrived at 755 Ocean Avenue, and you're enough as you depart. If anyone in your future suggests otherwise, you don't need them in your life. Now, the other side of the coin of that first truth is the second. Do your work. Knowing that once you start to do your inner work, you're embarking on a lifelong journey to heal from all of the internalized messages about not being enough. We need to learn how to name the toxic patterns and coping mechanisms we unknowingly develop so that we can choose healthier alternatives to face the inevitable challenges that life will send our way. I'm not saying all of this to you because I read it in books, heard it on podcasts, or took classes about it. I'm saying it because I lived it. As y'all were preparing for 9th grade, I was going through the hardest emotional period of my life. At the time, I chose to keep it private because I'm a private person and to compartmentalize all that away from a new job that I was really excited about. Initially, I wanted to get through it just like I'd gotten through everything before that, leaning on the toxic masculine messages I'd received about what strong men are supposed to do when they're tested. Strong men handle their biz. They don't ask for help. They don't show emotion because that's a form of weakness. They definitely don't cry. They man up, period. And I always had. But not this time. The emotional pain I was feeling was too much. For the first time in my life, I fully understood just how much I'd been needing help. And for the first time in my life, I asked for it. It was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do, and without doubt, it's one of the best decisions I've ever made. Today, I feel immense gratitude for the mental health professionals who held space for me, helped me learn how to tend to the underlying emotional wounds that I'd never healed from or even knew were there, and understand that while they'll never go away, they're the greatest gifts life sent my way because they prompted me to do my inner work. In addition to feeling so much more at peace with myself, doing my inner work gave me greater capacity to hold space for others, to recognize signs when they are in need of healing, and to gently offer support at a timely moment, as I did for several of you these last 4 years. Other people can tend to our wounds, but no one can do our healing for us. We have to choose to do our healing, and I firmly believe it is the most important work we'll ever do. Because if we don't do that work, you know what we are? A liability, moving through the world like emotional hurricanes, always blaming others for our shortcomings, compensating with arrogance, thinking that sounding like the smartest person in the room is a virtue, not being accountable for the systemic privileges we hold, too fragile to hear a critical word and incapable of making amends. I got family members who are like that. I've had a colleague or two who are like that. Students like that enter my classes every year. History is replete with that archetype because it's a part of the human condition, one that I know all too well and can therefore empathize with, but also keep at arm's length. Because here's the thing, others get tired of our BS real quick. They might not tell it to our face, but trust, they're chirping about it to someone. The real question is, when will you get tired of your own BS? When you do, it's time to do your inner work. When that divine moment arrives, reach out for help, follow through. And if you don't know where to start, and I mean this, reach out to me. I'll help you get started. The third and final truth is this. The good work we need to do to help repair the world and heal ourselves has to be guided by a sense of higher purpose and by values that give us a transcendent sense of connection to something greater than ourselves. One such value is understanding that we are all living in the echo of our ancestors. Their existence made our existence possible. Their dreams and resilience live on in each of us, as do their fears and traumas. Doing our inner work extends their unfinished legacies and pays homage to all that they endured. Mystically, they guide our steps and make their presence known during the most critical moments of our lives. On each of the 6 days that my mom pushed life into this world, her ancestors were with her. On each of the dozen times that my dad survived being trafficked across an imaginary border in the Southwest, his ancestors were with him. On the day of UC Berkeley's Chicano Latino graduation ceremony, I walked across the stage with my mom on my right arm and my dad on my left arm, and the three of us graduated together. In that moment, I felt our ancestors there with us in the same way I feel my ancestors are with me right now, in this moment. It is a good and noble practice to keep our ancestors present in our lives and to honor them. If I may, me gustaría ofrecerles unas palabras a las familias que tienen a uno de los suyos a punto de graduarse y que son parte de la primera generación universitaria, sabiendo que recibirán su diploma de parte de todos los queridos y antepasados quienes nunca tuvieron estas oportunidades. A ustedes en particular, les dedico la siguiente estrofa de Amado Nervo, un poeta mexicano del siglo pasado. Ya te acercas al final, tu lección está aprendida, y tu gema fue pulida, y dio rosas tu rosal. Una esfera de cristal es, por su unidad, tu vida. I'd like to offer a few words to the families who have one of their members on the brink of graduating and who are part of the first generation to attend college, knowing that they'll receive their diploma on behalf of all their loved ones and ancestors who never had these opportunities. To you, in particular, I dedicate the following stanza by 20th century Mexican poet Amado Nervo, elegantly translated by Ms. Yvonne Hernandez from the World Languages Department. As you approach the end, you have learned your lesson, and your gem has been polished, and your rosebush has flowered. A crystal sphere is, in its totality, your life. My friends, when we accept that we are enough, when we commit to doing our inner work, when we honor our roots in pursuit of a higher purpose, we start to attain a sense of liberation that allows us to fully be our authentic selves, moving through the world unapologetically, unafraid to be of service in the healing and repairing that we are all called to do. I want to end with this. Those of you who came through my classroom know that I conclude our year together by offering you a structured way to let your peers know that their words and presence meant something in your life, because one of the greatest gifts we can offer to those around us is to make them feel seen, valued, and affirmed. I hope that in some small way, I was able to do that for some of you these last 4 years. I want to thank you for doing the same for me. Our shared experiences in the classroom, your resilience, the vulnerability you allowed me to see, humanized me, helped me grow as an educator, and made me feel seen, valued, and affirmed. I hope you already know that many of you found your way into my heart, that you'll always have a home there, and that next year, I'm really gonna miss you. Seniors, be happy today. Celebrate your accomplishment and share your joy with those who love you. May your life's journey always be full of love, and may the road ahead rise up to meet you. Thank you.
right, congratulations, class of 2021. Let's turn you into alums. Unless you don't want to. Xavier Santino Arenas. Naima Liang Blanco Norberg. Jack McGowan Brady. Sophia Casey. Isayana Marie Castillo. Gabriel Noah Castro Root. Andrew Miguel Chacon. Olivia Parker Chaplin. Ryan Christopher Chin. Miranda Ray Christine. Milo Kyungmin Richmond Chung. Ryan Dean Collier. Otto Lawrence Alexander Craddock. Evia Nuala Curley. Emma Grace Dean. Michael Carlos Delorier. Josiah Leroy Densby. Luis Alberto Domingo. Rodrigo Drummond. Ryan Thomas Dugan. Clea Jolie Dyer. Caden Onita Evans Shaw. Magnolia Grace Finn. Chloe Lilia Fowler. Thomas Neil Friedman. Congratulations. Adam Christopher Friedman. Nicholas Standish Lindgren Gainsler. Audrey Gallagher. Lorenzo M. Garcia. Congratulations. Nathan Robertson Gilbert. Ava Francis Gray. Lillian Morgan Hom. Lauren Chen Hannikin. James Morgan Harris.
Permission, I'm sorry. Hi, everyone.
Anna Gabrielle Hockman. Annie Mitchell Hockin. Cameron Nicole Hong. Ronan Lee Huang. Jeffrey Jiang. Luna Chiang Ting. Alexandra Lois Marie Jones. Gregory Rudolph Maximilian Kalman. Ari Krishan Kapoor. Nico H. Karpf. John T. Keller. Natalie Baker Kime. Congratulations. Tyler Bowen Kime. Vera Svava Kirsten Hellickson. Rebecca Kivimay. Hannah Jean Cloninger Stever. Oliver Casey Lynn Kraus. Carolyn Kreutzen. Maya Mathilde Lacamp. Zachary Philippe Lachance. Primo Salim Lagasso Goldberg. Juliana Renee Lam Perez. Luca Joe Lawson. Martha Mimo Morgenthau Lee. Rudy David Lee. Christopher A. Leon. Elliot Paul Lepinau. Hannah Lou Levenberg. Nicole Horying Lin. Colette Sophia Lipton. Asher Coltrane Lord. Congrats. Jeremy C. Lum. Finn Michael Maniscalco. Jordan Elizabeth Marlowe. Bridget Margot Martin. Daisy Elizabeth Winterton Manupau. Frankie Max. Maya Pearl McDonald. Julian Oliver Gruta Mendiola. Gabrielle Ariel Millman. Kyler Yohei Miyashita. Marco Washington Monfiglio. Journey Ray Moore Pruitt. Catalina Sara Maria Morales. Oscar Moss. Margaret Elizabeth Murphy Weiss. Alice Marta Norrell. William Edward O'Brien. Jewel Athena Kagawa Ocampo. Marcello Paganini. Katrina Bryn Balichek. Danielle Rachel Park. Sophia Maximina Patterson. William Buddy Pendergast. Lorenzo Sebastian Peters. Avery Natasha Peterson. Tyler Jordan Pragides. Maria Veronica Quintero. Ari Dave Rangarajan. Davis Benjamin Roberts. Congratulations. Sydney Claire Roberts. Cole Austin Robbins. Parker Hamilton Hayes Robinson. Naideen Anaí Ruiz Paz. Congratulations. Tara Naima Salem. Wendy Abad Sandoval. Alessandra Grace Saracini. Emma Steinberg Shaw. Julia Steinberg Shaw. Kaylin Chuti Sivulela. Benjamin Daniel Slaughter. Adam Spitzler. James John Quo Spokes. Congratulations. Ananya Lakshmi Sridhar. William Henry Bufton Stafford. Emily Catherine Sturman. Eddie Taylor. Addison Thomas. Denise Yu Thompson. Thank you. Congratulations. Justin Swenyi Tien Smith. Teresa Maria Topete. Kaito Uesugi. Emma Warden. Margaret Ann Wiley. Congratulations. Theo Parker Willis. Oscar Emerson Wilmerding. Nicholas Henry Wilsey. Charlotte Amelia Wynn. Alexander Henry Yang. Graham Yater. Christina Mary Yee. Roxanne Faye Zaroff.
Awesome. All right, so seniors, please stand. Congratulations to the graduated class of 2021. Thank you so much for coming today. If you could all remain, all the family members just remain seated until the graduates, I love that, the graduates, exit. And thank you so much for being here and for being in community with us all year and especially today. Congratulations to the class of 2021.